Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be doing a couple small things on the SI here. So yeah, it's a front end up, not for anything that actually needs to do with suspension or anything like that. I just need to get the driver's wheel off so I can get to a grommet behind it to run some wiring. We're going to put this in from the silver car that was totaled. I need to run the wiring. Got all the wiring over here that is already like cut to length and whatnot. So got the power wire, got the reference wire, not the reference, but the coax wiring, and then the reference wire for the amp to turn on. So I'll get this wheel off and I'll kind of bring you in as I go and show you how we're running the wiring. This isn't the ideal spot to run it. Realistically, I'd rather run it through the firewall, but I don't feel like dealing with getting to access to any of those points right now. So there's a little grommet right here, right above my finger there. That runs through, oh God, right over here. That is the firewall side of it, right there. So we're gonna pop that out, punch a hole through it so we can run the wire through it, and then the wire itself and the engine bay side is just going to be zip tied to the trunk release cable here. So that will basically just follow that route. So it'll be battery terminal through here, underneath the fender, attached to the hood release cable, and then through that grommet back there that you now can't see because I turned off the light. I'd rather it go back through the firewall somewhere over here, but it's just kind of a pain to get to. I can get to that easily, so that's where we're going to run it. Got that grommet out. As you can see, I already got the wire run through it. I just took a step bit on a drill, punched a hole through it. It is snug. That'll keep the weather out, but not too loose or too tight to where it makes it a pain to run the wire through. So I'm gonna get the wire run inside of the car and in the engine bay side, and then I'll show you what all we have to take apart to run it through the interior. Got everything run on the engine side. It's not hooked up to the positive yet. You can see it runs right there behind the coolant expansion tank, and then up along with the hood release cable, and then down through the fender over here. And then again over here, zip tied to the hood release cable, through that grommet, and then into the interior, down in here. And you can see kind of back in there where it comes through. So now we got to pull the kick panel, this panel, B-pillar panel. Wish I had more light on this side of the car, but I don't. And then it comes through down here, through underneath the seat here. And my light's just going to turn off on me. And then back out, like kind of right in here on the trunk side. So I'm going to run that real quick. I say real quick, it's not really that quick of a process, just to keep the wiring clean. Then I'll show you when I get to the B-pillar portion how you run that, because it's a little bit tricky. Otherwise, everything else is pretty straightforward. No, it's kind of hard to see. It's relatively dark in here, but I've got the dash apart. First, lower panel has to come off. Then you pull the gauge cluster panel off, and then you pull the radio out. I have to run the reference wire, which will be one of these blue wires here. I think it's this one. It doesn't really matter though, they all power the same thing. So I have to run the reference wire from here back, same with the sub wire down here, and then also run the coax cables at the same time as well to have, audio. Kind of need something to tell the speaker what to do. So get these hooked up. They'll come kind of behind the dash here. Get zipped down to some of the other wiring harnesses behind. Got it run up to the point where you go through the B pillar. So the way I do this, oh God, you see right down here, there's a little hole right behind where the SRS connector is. So it's just enough to be able to fit all the wires through there. So run one at a time. So one of that one, and behind. Get it part of the way through and come to the back side. And just polar. Just making sure as you're coming through the front that you're getting it straightened out like you want it. And then you just do that with all three of the wires. So you have your reference wire, your signal wire, and your power wire. Run it all through there. You can button everything back up in the front. Well, get this on, button everything else back up in the front, and then you got to run it underneath. The seat back here, it's easy enough. There's a pretty clear access through right down here. Especially if you put the seat back down, you can see the hole and it'll run right through. So we get all that run, and then I'll show you the final routing before I put everything back together. Got all the wiring finished up, other than hooking it up to the sub. Power wire from the engine bay, reference and signal wires from the head unit, all up under the dash. It's zip tied where it can be to keep it all nice and tight and not flopping around. Got it run behind this bundle here, along here with the rest of the wiring, back behind this bracket on the B pillar, back through here, under this wiring harness, just to help keep it secure, zip tied again here, up under the seat, and then into the trunk. Obviously there's a lot of extra in the trunk right now, which is fine. That means it'll be easier to wire up, and then once it's wired up and put in position, we'll tuck the rest of the wiring back underneath the back seat, just so I don't have a cluster of ugly wiring in the trunk. Everything's all put back together as I'm running into stuff, other than the lower kick panel for the dash here. Just takes 2 seconds to pop on. All the paneling is in, front and rear. Everything is nice and clean. You can never tell that there was any wiring running through there. Oh God, stepping on stuff. And I got the sub in here. Only thing I need to do now is connect the phone to the Bluetooth, because I don't have the antenna hooked up. Basically, I just don't listen to radio because I don't. And then tune everything up, make sure the sub works. Next on this thing, we're going to try and fix the check engine light. Check engine light is on for the evap canister and fuel tank pressure sensor. And there's wiring missing. So I'm going to cut the wiring out of that. Hopefully, if it's the same. If not, then I'm going to be just grabbing some wiring out of the toolbox and splicing in some wiring to hopefully get the check engine light to go away. To do said wiring that I need to do for this car, though, let's start with taking out the back seats. So there's a couple, oh God, okay, let's get out of the light. There's a couple 12s. There's one here, 2 over on this side, and then somewhere over here. Yeah, there's some more for the driver's side seat back as well. We'll pull those out, and then we can pull out the lower cushion, get access to the wiring from up top on this one, and at least start there, see how much wiring we have to play with to be able to get some wires spliced back into the sensors that need to be functional on this car to get rid of the check engine light and honestly hopefully make it run better. I feel like with the fuel tank pressure sensor not being plugged in, so not working, and the evap canister not working, it's kind of choking up the engine a little bit, but we'll see. If it helps the engine run better, cool. If it just clears the check engine light, cool. Either way, I'm just tired of looking at the check engine light when I know I can fix the issue, and I've just been too lazy to do it until now. Back seats are out, as you can see. So there's the 1 bolt here, 2 bolts on this side. Same on the driver's side seat. There's the 1 bolt on the outside, and there's a bolt that goes right here that goes in there. So this just kind of slides through where this is, and that's just what holds the driver's side in. So now there's a 10 millimeter right here that you got to pull out. Once you pull that out, again, it's push down and back, or push down and forward on the front. It'll release those clips, and you can pull out the back seat. The back seat is out completely now. You don't actually have to push forward or anything like that. Easiest way I found to do it, you just kneel on the seat, put a little pressure on the back side, and you just pull up on the front. You see these little clips in here. Just technically you're supposed to push it forward, but if you kneel on it, and then it kind of pushes the front forward anyways, and you just pull it up. Did find quite a bit of stuff underneath the seat. Got everything vacuumed out that was just trash. There was a random screwdriver, and exactly on both sides, which is very weird, there was a quarter and 2 dimes on both seats, on both sides of the seat, I should say, right by the seatbelt buckles. Very random, but it was there. Now the car is going to go up in the air, so I can get underneath it and push the wiring up through the bottom. I'm pretty sure it's this plug here, but I want to make sure. So like I said, we're going to push it up through the bottom and make sure we're doing the correct wiring. And like I said, I'm going to try and pull it from the SI, splice it into this. That if it doesn't have the same wiring, I'll just add some wire from where it is currently to the connectors. As you can see, got the wiring pulled out from down below, got the connectors here. I already kind of started splicing 2 of the wires together. I didn't feel like honestly getting under the SI, so we didn't. I just got some wiring here that I had in the toolbox. We're gonna match we're gonna use the red for the purple and the blue, black for black, and then green for green. So hopefully I have these correct. Obviously there's a 2 wire and a 3 wire. I'm just hoping I have the correct greens to each one, but we're gonna use, just like we did on the rear speakers on the 2-door, I'm gonna use these self-heating or self-soldering shrink tubes. Get these all soldered together on this side, and then once that's done, oh come on, don't be stupid, we can throw this boot back on there and then run connectors back down through the bottom, plug them in, start up the car, and hopefully not have a check engine light anymore. Or if it still has a check engine light, hopefully I can clear it and it goes away. Get everything wired up. Hopefully I got the correct green wire to the correct plug. If not, then well, I'm cutting it off and rewiring at least the green wires to the other ones. Obviously you still wrap it with lumen as well, but I don't have any right now, so electrical tape it is. Get it plugged in and then see what happens with the check engine light. Been about a week since I did the wiring fix, got it all put back together. Check engine light did go off for a while. It is back on right now. Not sure why though. I haven't pulled codes. Got the laptop charging up there so I can pull the codes with the Honda, see what's going on. Hopefully it's just something with the rain and snow tires the other day, traction control and wheel speed sensors not being happy. I can just clear it and be good. Main thing we're doing right now though, swapping out these belt moldings. Got a whole set off of Amazon for, I don't know, it was like 45, 50 bucks, something like that, if not less. You can see these ones, this front edge here, it's all pulled up there. It's just a lot of missing rubber and whatnot on them. This one's missing the end cap. Again, in the rear, the edge is pulled up, the end cap's coming off. Same thing on the driver's side. And end caps actually there on this one, but edge is pulling up. Oh, both end caps are there. Wow. Edge is pulling up, and then edges are pulling up. End caps starting to come off. So pretty easy. I'm gonna grab a body trim tool and a rag, get underneath it, pop it off. There should be like 2 or 3 clips on the front, 2 or 3 clips on the rear. Come up, get the old broken clips out, and just pop those back in. Just literally put them in place and push them down. Like I said, it's pretty easy. Take a rag so you don't destroy the paint. Get underneath it. Try not to break your freaking window like a dumbass. And just pry up. That actually came up with the clip, which is nice. Front just kind of pops out as well. Got the old one there. Throw it away. Grab your new one. Wind up in the front to begin with. And just kind of work it down. Let's get towards the back. Make sure it's clipped in. That's lovely. Well, there's nothing in the way back there, so that's rather annoying. And then remove protective strip. So that nice new good seal. If I could get behind it, make sure that was clipped in, I would, but that should be all right. It's not going to go anywhere while driving. Oh, there it is. I got it clipped in. And then you just do the same for the other 3 doors, and you have new weather stripping. All of them are swapped out now. Like I said, pretty easy. Pop off the old ones, make sure you get the old clips out, put the new ones on. All 4 of them are replaced now. Obviously, OEM is going to be a lot better fitment than Amazon, but for what I paid for these, they'll work just fine. As you can see, like right here, a little bit of overlap. Back here, the gap's not perfect. Again, not perfect, but better than it was, so that's all I really care about at this moment, because I'm not trying to make this car a full-on restoration project. Now we get to pull the codes and see what the hell's going on with the check engine light again. I really hate this thing sometimes. I just recorded an entire clip and it didn't record. Pull the codes on the SI back here. It's a P0455, P0456. It's large and small evap leaks. After I fixed the wiring, I was getting a warning on the dash every time I started the car for check gas cap. We're going to start with just by replacing the gas cap and then go from there. If that doesn't work, we'll smoke test it and see what's happening. More importantly though, right now I got a new set of tires for it. Some Nito NT555 G2s, 255/40 for the front, 225/45 for the rear. They're going to go on the Koenigs over here. 17x8 plus 40 for the rear, 17x9 plus 25 or plus 22 for the fronts. Those are the wheels that were on the old SI. So I'm going to get those all mounted up, get the new gas cap, and hopefully have a check engine free car and nice blacked out car as well, with no snow tires on it because it's not snowing anymore. Tires are mounted, wheels are on the car. I had to adjust the suspension quite a bit. I just didn't have enough camber in the front to fit a 255, and then obviously did the alignment afterwards. But I got, like I said, they're all on there. Car feels so much better with the Nittos on it than it did with the snow tires. Obviously, high performance summer compared to a winter tire. Did have to roll this fender pretty well. It needs to be replaced anyways. You can see it's split right here. It's like this, the bracketry back here, I don't even think it's bolted up. This headlight's like loose. Let me see if I can get it to do it. Yeah, see, it moves a lot there. It's just the whole front end needs to be rebuilt body wise. I don't know if it was wrecked or not, but if it was, whoever put it back together did a really shitty job. I got this all flattened out. This mainly this tab right here where my finger is. It was still kind of flat, like how the fender liner would hit it, where the rest of the fender was already rolled. I just flattened the whole thing out as much as I could. I'll go drive it here and see if it still rubs anymore, but it shouldn't with that tab being gone or folded in. I could rub my finger along the inside edge. The only place there was any kind of tire rubber was at that tab. You can see it's only been on here 2 days, and you can see a little bit of scarring on the tire from the few times it's rubbed. But and plates on that car, plates on this car. Finally got it registered and renewed the tags on that one. So all cars are now legal. It's fantastic. Have good tires and semi good wheels, obviously. Some curb rash and whatnot between racing and just having a lot of miles on them from being on that car and driving it for one of my last jobs that required a lot of driving. That's going to be the end of this one for this car. A couple of days we'll have the camber arms for that one, and that'll be its own video on that. I don't know which one will come out first, whether it's this or this, but you'll see them both at some point. So we'll see you next time. Have a good one.